Hi guys, Rob here from D&D Toy Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the Doctor Who Extreme Warfare Prime Commander, or Optimus Prime. There's the toy itself, and in the box we also get a collector card with the same artwork that's on the box. And on the back, a couple of shots of the toy itself. We get the instructions, which are done up in black and white, but pretty easy to read. And here is Optimus himself. So we get Optimus, we get his trailer, and we get his little ion blaster. So you can see here the trailer, we can do a little sort of repair deck like the G1 toy could. You got these little black robot arms here. Now we don't get the drone that came with the G1 trailer, which would have been nice, but at the size, completely forgivable. And the ion blaster, you see it here, is really small. Now because of the size of the figure, there's no peg hole for the figure to hold his gun. So what they've done is they've done this little C-clip that goes over the hand and locks it in place. He can hold his gun just fine. The clip looks, not the best, but again, for the size, if they put a peg hole in, this peg on the gun probably would have snapped the first time you put it in, so not a big deal. And then let's have a look at Optimus himself. Some wonderful detail on the figure. Beautiful sparkly blue paint for the chest windows. Silver paint for the mouth plate, and the eyes are painted in that same shiny blue paint, but it's really hard to see because of the size of the figure. Some lovely silver paint on the torso there, yellow for the waist, silver on the shins, hands painted blue, silver smokestacks. Yeah, he looks really good. And he is tiny. To give you an idea of just how small he is, there he is next to Kingdom Core Class Optimus Prime. And you can see he comes up to about the waist on the Kingdom Optimus. So he is one tiny little bot. And I believe that he is scaled to match with the Ark coming from Hasbro. And that's why they're so small. And he's really, really fun to pose. And the materials feel wonderful. He is made of some really sturdy plastic. I mean, I don't feel like anything is going to break on this guy. It's really nice. So let's get him transformed up into his alt mode. To start, we're going to turn the head around, flip it down, spin the chest around, and here there's a little hinge in the middle of his abs that we're going to fold the legs up on, just like that. We're going to come in here and flip these wheels down, just like that. And to get the arms in, first we're going to spin them around and down, and then we're going to pull down on this wheel, because there's a tab right there that's going to lock into that slot under Prime's arm and hold those arms in place. So get the arm in, wheel up, locked. Do the same on the other side. Arm in, wheel up, and locked. Next, we're going to tab the legs together, flip the feet down, legs up, and then flip these flaps around, and there he is in his alt mode. And he's a really nice looking little truck. So for detail, we get some silver for the headlights, silver for the bumper, silver for the grille. Again, that wonderful blue paint from the on the windows. We get silver detail on the sides for the ladder and the fuel tanks. And you can still see the head, and you can see the waist, but for the size, it's completely forgivable. He's a wonderful little truck. And so for the trailer, what we're going to do first, we're going to take the arms out, flip them over, we're going to peg them into these holes down here. Now the reason we want to do that is so they're out the way for the transformation, and we need this hole up here, and there's one on the other side, to plug in the ion blaster so we don't lose the tiny little ion blaster. Fold up the trailer, and there we go. You can see the doors still open. There's a tab and a slot to lock the doors together. Now the doors are on a bit of a loose hinge. That's probably my only real complaint with this figure, is these hinges on the doors are a little bit loose, so they kind of flop open sometimes. But once you've got it locked together, they're usually good and secure. You can see some silver paint for the bumper back here, red paint for the brake lights, the blue and white stripe running the length, all the molded G1 trailer details. The struts at the bottom, they're just one piece, they don't fold out. Would have been nice, but not a big deal. And so we can see here there's an attachment point that swivels around freely. And to put the trailer on prime, we just take that white attachment point and slot it over a ledge between his legs, and there we go. Sorry. There we go. Optimus Prime in his truck mode. And he doesn't really roll so well because the weight of the figure, there's no pressure down on these wheels. The wheels move just fine, but like I said, because of the weight of the figure, there's just no pressure on them to really get them moving in his alt mode. But if you push down on him, they'll roll all right. And so there we go. You can spin the cab around quite nicely. And like I said, this is a really fun little Optimus. I have really been enjoying playing with this guy. And I very much would like to see what else the company has in store for this Extreme Warfare line. I've got the Soundwave and Sound Blaster and Galvatron and Beachcomber on the way. So when they arrive, you know, we'll take a look at those. And there we go. That's the review. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.